Good day, Mr. Flausch. The opening of the UITP office in Kazakhstan was announced last year in Astana Invest Forum. Please tell us, how did the idea of opening UITP Kazakhstan's office in Astana came up?
I think the good thing about Astana and Kazakhstan is that they are willing to make a world-class city. And there is no world-class city if you don't have public transportation. So if you have to invent public transportation here, maybe some help from some historically known association like ours could do, because we are gathering all the major network of public transport in the world, and certainly we could be a catalyst to assist Astana in building its own network. Thence the idea of having a place here where we could, come frequently and disseminate whatever, having experts here, having conference here, so that finally the idea of a public transport network would come here and be endorsed by the population, by the mayor, by the authority.
What's the purpose of today's conference?
I think the mayor and the public transport company here wants to make clear in Astana that besides having a bus system, which is already quite a big system, that public transport is part of the solution for a sustainable city and modern city. And having a conference like this, bringing experts from around the world, explaining how you do it, is raising the awareness of the Astana community about the need to develop public transport in this city. It will alleviate congestion, it will be good in terms of environment, it will be also socially inclusive, it's an economic driver for growth. So there are plenty of benefits from public transport that needs to be explained so that the community buy in to some extent the whole concept and then says, okay, politically it's time now to put some money there instead of continuing to build roads.
What do you think about development of transport infrastructure in Astana?
I think it's absolutely a need. All over the world there is a terrible backlog for infrastructure. Infrastructure are required because they are the backbone of any city. And so in Astana, we don't yet have a light rail, but it's in the file now. It's about to be constructed. And it's the beginning of this first line of light rail will be the beginning of a network, because then you will be a second line and a third line, and you need that, it triggers, because people won't leave their car if they don't have a good alternative. Infrastructures are there to become the alternative to private car and to irrigate a city in a peaceful and sustainable way.
Yes. Please tell us, what do you think about global trends in the world in public transport sector?
Most of the big cities of the world are further developing public transport. Major trends is that, one, we need infrastructure, but we don't always find the money to finance this infrastructure. That's one part, what's a critical issue. The second issue is, to become a good alternative, public transport needs to be of quality. So the good old days of poor public transport for the poor people is gone. Now we're looking forward for every kind of the population, every segment of the population. But to attract people who are used to car, you need to deliver good service. So quality of service is second big stuff. And then eventually a third thing which will come later is that integration is the issue. You cannot look at one mode of transport without looking at the other one. You have to make a kind of a new ecosystem where mass transit will be done by public transport, but the last mile would be done by taxi, would be done maybe by Uber, would be done by ride sharing, car sharing, bike sharing, and this is all has to be organized by the authority. That's, I think, the last trends in public transport.
And how do you assess the level of international integration of transport system in Astana and cooperation with UITP?
I'm here just half a day, so my view on Astana is very partial and small. What I hear is that the authority here and the company, Astra, is willing to attract as many experts as possible and go and visit the world and see what is first-class public transport. And that's a very good attitude because it will allow them to build a good system. Regarding UITP, here we are there to help. We're there to bring contacts, bring experts, tell them, please go and have a look there. That is obviously a nice way to do it, and I think the ambition of the local authority is very impressive, and I hope the political decision maker will be brave enough to take the bold decision that needs to be made.
Thank you, Mr. Flausch, for your interview. I wish you nice days in Astana. We're always glad to see you.
I'll
Kazakhstan.
be back. I'll be back.
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for you.